Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Welcome to Smooth Talk. Last week was very interesting. The budget was absolutely interesting. Honorable Margaret Wanakatwe was presenting the budget, like we all know, and I think she did a great job. For me, the job, especially because of the flair that she carried on with as she was presenting, I thought that was pretty interesting. And there was a highlight though, where, as she's delivering the budget, I would like to propose, because literally that's the language there. Then she goes like, I would like to propose to have a glass of water. The house, the roof went off the house, as they say. Okay, so parliamentarians were very excited about that. I thought it was exciting. Then somebody wrote then, to say Zambia is working with what, 36 million? Then, and the population is what, 15 million thereabouts? How's about to just give everyone 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, and forget everybody's rich and everybody's having fun? And I can imagine how some people can think that way, that probably would be the solution. But anyway, social media just at work on that bit. I thought it was exciting. Then we had the Kwacha Awards. For those of you that, hopefully you watched them on television. Those of you that were lucky to be there, probably, you had the fun there. But nice to see the likes of B-Flow. B-Flow, in fact, that same day, had just landed from the States, and he gets there, has his seat. The first award is his award, and he stands up to get his award. I thought that was interesting. Again, for me, kudos to him because of the work that he does for, not just for himself, because all of us travel, but for who but ourselves. But I think B-Flow travels to represent this country and to fight for, like he says, the voiceless, and for other ills that do happen, especially where the girl child is concerned and where women are concerned. So I really think that he does a tremendous job in that respect, and he was honored that way by way of winning an award. Other people that won an award, Best Album of the Year, Ghetto President, by Mr. Makitu. And I thought that was interesting, for Makitu to actually win it. And then also, which other people? XYZ, that's what they call what? Kolopa.com, huh? They literally swept the awards, 5 awards that they got. Of course, it was Slabdi, Bobby, Nazlong, Nash, the producer as well on that one. So really, I think XYZ did exceptionally well. Was excited for Muiza also, that she got an award. Muiza is the daughter to Sister D and Maiko. And I think for best, was it upcoming? I think. Yeah, upcoming. And also she was nominated in The Conscious as well because of the song that she did. And also that for me was a good thing. Then I've talked on this here program about a gentleman from the Western Province who did a song called Mwali Mango. Mwali Mango means under the mango trees. His name is Alan. Of course, he calls himself Alanizo, but his name is Alan. So you know how the Kwachas will be awarding musicians from all the provinces, all the 10 provinces. So in the Western Province, there was a gentleman I'd never met. I met him though on the night, called Alanizo. And he did a song called Mwali Mango. Love that song, firstly because Western Province is known to have a lot of mangoes. So a lot of people chill out under the mango tree. So at times you can state the obvious and be interesting, So that's what he did. He stated the obvious of what happens in the Western Province. People sit under the tree, grandmas, whether you're eating a mango or you're just sitting under the tree, whatever, but to make a song out of it, and a hit song at that, I thought was very ingenious of him. And I think the Western Province thought the same. They gave him, they voted for him, and he got that award. So, kudos to him as well. But like we were saying, Muzo also got an award. Can't even remember what he said. Very short speech that he put across. Something, nalilele, whatever. And he walked away. Just that. I'm like, what? I'm thinking he's coming back, but he was done. Dreams also won an award, obviously, from the Central Province. So, it was interesting like that. Eye of an Eagle, Afunika got an award also from, I think, Copper Belt. I think, yeah. Then we had well, like I said, XYZ really sweeping it off. And Slap D was out of the country. He's out of the country. I think he's in the US or something. So he was winning awards. I think he was just being told, hey, mwana, kolopa.com here, XYZ. We're doing the business. Okay, but it was nice for Mark 2 to feature somewhere. And he did big time by winning the album of the year. Pompey also got away with a couple of awards, best gospel song, I think, album as well. I think he did very well for himself, and a couple of interesting other people showing you the pics even as we go along. Alrighty, so let's talk about today's show though. Excited to have Uncle Rex. I've not interviewed him in a long time, and we're talking about the Lusaka Music Festival. I think we had the first one last year. It was actually a very cold night, I remember. But this time around, it's not that cold because it was June, July time, so it's after that. So yeah, so we'll be talking to him and finding out a bit about that alongside Peter Kawe, Ama Kawe as we like to call him, and Mr. Heyman. So we'll be talking about Lusaka Music Festival, so watch out for that. But we've got some special interview also that's coming on very, very shortly. We'll be talking to people, some parents, some leaving with different, how do I put it though? Conditions, if you like. We're talking to, I like first of all what John Chit is doing for people that are living with albinism. I think he's doing a great job, trying to educate the people about what albinism is about. And what it's really about, in a nutshell, is just the skin color, that the pigment that these friends of ours don't have. And somebody out there has it in his head that because of that pigment that is lacking in them means that you can use them for whatever magic you want to do. So backward, if you ask me. The secret to riches is not even all this stuff you go to man of God for prayers, to sow a seed and all that jazz. And maybe you want to have an albino parts of body to make you rich. It's nothing but hard work, guys. So just work. Something is going to give. That's nature depicts that. If you work hard, the fruits will show. You cannot sit down and fold your hands and expect things to happen just because a man of God said that. It doesn't happen. So, I'm excited about John Chitty because of those works that he's doing. But like I said, we'll be having a chat with one lady, Sepo Lisulo, who is a sympathizer for people that are living, that have got special needs in life. I met her and I thought she was very, very interesting. But I thought, other than talking to her, she didn't want to be talked to by the way, but I insisted that maybe also because of what the empathy she has, that I talk to the other people, the people that she meets who she feels have a special need that we as a society need to remember and be able to play a part in making them part of us, part of society, because at times, by the way you react towards them, we can alienate, our colleagues. That's what it simply means. Alrighty, then we've got our brand new guys that have come through today. They've got an interesting name, but I love the song though. Happy K is actually on the show. He's one of the winners from, I think it's Chipata Eastern Province? Muchinga Province, the newest province actually, yeah. So we'll be talking to Happy K. He's a very happy chap, having won an award. But also, there are a couple of new guys that have just come on the scene that we'll be talking to, and they call themselves Fan P and Zachu. Yeah, we'll be talking to them. But for now, DJ 800.
Makina yam tiatiandi DJ 800.
You make it all look easy. Yeah, you might be easy. Every time we link up, every time you come over, it's a little boy. Girl, it's a little boy. love, girl, totally. Girl, you know that you got it. Me want your love, girl, totally. Girl, you know that you got it. Me want your love, girl, totally. Girl, you know that you got it. Me want your love, girl, totally. Big Nash, hot damn. Put it in my face, that is awesome. 4 chains, zone fam. Plus I got kicks, Van Damme. Van Damme. Van Damme. Big Nash, hot damn. Put it in my face, that is awesome. 4 chains, zone fam. Plus I got kicks, Van Damme. Van Damme.
From CZ down to Kutumbo, fresh smart, dressed like my boss. Hennessy, queen, well, I put you both loud. Chayana phone, loud, off my up loud. Come on, you go loud, into loud, loud, louder. It's me, hey, Versace shirt. I look good in my Versace shirt. But I'm down, gotta show my chest. One chain, I got nothing to prove. Mwezi wa kudala. Lifestyle mwezi wa kudala. Unganyemo ni kambira or less. Besides that, I got nothing to prove. Na go. You a kankala. You got a life, you a kankala. You a kankala. Get it down, yeah. You a kankala. You got a life, you a kankala. You a kankala.
Soka majankap left wala lenge champagne nemft village stick c'est la côte money apani one.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Mr. DJ 800. Now, this next interview, in fact, the first interview we're having, is a special one in a sense because I think it requires for all of us to really just pay particular attention, just so we can understand certain things that we might not understand easily. You know, at times it's only when you are affected, maybe because you've got somebody in your house, in your family, in extended family that has a certain condition that you know, but ordinarily you wouldn't, so probably you wouldn't know how to react. And, you know, we thought that maybe this could probably help you out in that sense. So, Seppo is a friend of mine, so she walks up to me and tells me, I've got this, this is what I do, you know, and as we get talking, and she says she would like to bring, to bring these issues out, and then she would like to bring over some people that she feels I can talk to. So I'm like, okay, cool, as long as you come along. And she says, no, I don't do interviews myself. It's just that. So I insisted, though. I told her, if you don't come along, then I'm not talking to anyone. Of course, I was just joking, but she fell for it. So yeah, so how are you doing?
Hi, Innocent. How are you?
I'm well. All right, okay. You've got an interest in people with special needs. Why I was interested in that is because most people, not that they don't have the interest, but they don't know how to react. And because you don't know how to react, you try to avoid it. So a lot of us will avoid, you know, people with special needs, for instance. And you don't. You've actually got an interest. So where did that come from?
Okay, there's a question that is usually asked to everybody. What is your purpose in life? Okay? Yeah. So I struggled. I'll tell you, I struggled to find my purpose in life. I would watch you on TV and say, oh, okay, there's someone who has their purpose in life. They found out what it is. And for a very long time, I struggled with what is my purpose in life? Why did God put me on this earth? But I discovered that I'm drawn to people, or certain people are drawn to me. So I'll be seated in a bus. I'll be drawn to a person who looks different, you know, from me. Others will just be sad. Others will be drawn. Others will have mountains of burdens, and they come to me, or I'm drawn to them. Like you have said, I would try to resist it. But then I realized perhaps this is the purpose that, this is my purpose in life. So I just opened myself up and then I just let myself go. I was in college when I was doing my undergraduate at university. There was a blind man in my class, and you know how crazy it is. After class, everybody rushes
Everybody's
out.
walking away, yeah.
But the very first day I said, but who walks around with this man? So I walked to him. I said, how would you go around? He says, I don't. I just struggle. And that's how a friendship started. For 4 years, I moved around with this blind man. I'll take him to his classes and then tell him, when you're done, wait there. I'll come and pick you up. And then I pick him up. I take him to his next class. Until when he's done, I take him to his dorm. So things like that would happen to me. And then I said, well, this is my purpose in life. And
wow.
And that's
that's a special one, I'll tell you that, you know what? And I think that some people, even if they kind of felt that way that you're feeling, would probably still resist it and become what the other thing that they can become. Because I think we can become a lot of things. For instance, I don't believe that people have got one talent. I think that sometimes if you're sporty, then there are a lot of sports you can play. It's not necessarily one. So if you're drawn to writing, it's not that one style of writing you can only write. I think you can write just about on anything if you research. So I'm just saying, you could have easily done something else, in relation to people. You could have just dealt with children, but children that don't have special needs, but they've got only normal needs that children have. You could have done that. So I really feel that, you, in that sense, you're a special person yourself.
Don't put me on this.
Okay, so now, some of the people that you thought I should talk to, of course, some of them we were not able to bring them on the show today because of certain things, one or two things that did not happen. But before I get to talk to some people that I have with me here, from your experiences, I know you've dealt a lot with people with special needs. As a country or as a people, how are we getting on with that? Of course, I've mentioned that it's not the easiest thing, even for, I think, for anybody. I'll speak for myself. Even I have, it's an effort. I have to make a decision. Let me do this. But ordinarily, I would probably stand aside and watch. But most people will stand aside and watch. How are we getting along? What would you say is what we need to do as a people in order to accommodate the rest of the people that we are living in society with?
Okay, the past few years, maybe 5, at least, we have seen a bit of activity here. You hear there's Sickle Cell Awareness Month or Autism Awareness Month. So slowly the community is beginning to realize. You realize that we live in a community, and in our communities, people with special needs are living with us. Okay, but because they're coming from a background, we are all coming from a background where there are these myths and misconceptions. I remember growing up, if you meet someone like Terence, very quickly you have to spit.
You have to spit
inside
in your collar, under
dress.
your
Yes. Why? Those were just misconceptions. Okay, when you meet a person like Bernadette, she's got sickle cell. The first thing you'll notice, she doesn't have a lot of energy. So such people would say, oh, she's antisocial. When she's in so much pain, she would just withdraw to herself. So we discover that there's a lot of we don't know much about the special needs people and what they need. I was sitting on the background and I'm chatting with Richard, and the people sitting next to me, they can see that he's not saying anything, and I seem to be enjoying this conversation with him. And I'm sure if I ask them, they would say, but is she even hearing what he's saying? So what I'm saying is, in the background, all of us are coming from a background where we don't know much about these special needs. The people who had special needs children, because of stigma, they would hide the children in the homes. I went to a home where there was a wonderful picture of a mother, father, and one child. And I thought that was the whole family. Until when I got closer to them, I discovered that they had another child who they could not even put on the pictures. Why? It's not easy for everybody, okay? And as a country, we realized that we're also lagging behind. We were just sitting quietly and watch these people live and struggle on their own. But thank God for people like Bernadette. Bernadette, she'll tell you some things, and Auntie K will also tell you some things that they do. Through people like them and Terence, they will tell you that slowly we are beginning to hear. Okay? Oh, so there is sickle cell. Oh, so there is CP. And then we're trying to take it back home. I know ZNBC is doing a good job. It has brought doctors and people who have explained these things. But I'm very glad that you listened to me. I said, let's bring people who are living the lifestyle now so that we hear. I know most of the times when you meet a person, even like Terence, you just don't even know what to say. But then today we have an experience, we have a privilege where they can tell us that, well, I'm a sickle cell person. Sometimes I'm just in pain. So when you see me quiet, just understand. When Bernadette has not greeted me, I know something is not correct, is not right. So I'll call her, what's wrong with you? And I know she will tell me, okay, I'm not feeling well. So the country has been doing well. And I think at the end of the day, what we should just ask ourselves is, what can I do as an individual? Because the country does not have a face. The country is not a human being. We are all part of this thing that makes people in the country. Each one of us has to care enough. You have to listen enough to realize that there are people in our community. We all see them. We are on the buses with them. We are with them at church. Some of them we have never even said hello to them. This is an opportunity, especially to the audience and everybody who's watching, that now you can pay attention. Watch out for a person who's different from you in your church, in the bus, wherever it is that you are. Then you begin to be sensitive. They're not looking for sympathy, so to say, but just understanding. Do you know sometimes that people with autism have got a problem with loud noises? But we jump on the buses, they're so loud. And sometimes I'm just dramatic and I start screaming, and then they look at me and say, I'm autistic, please reduce the sound. So you discover that we just need the information to go out, and then I think people will help even more.
Okay, alrighty. Thank you very much. So you see how she didn't want to talk. Now she gets into a zone and she's talking away. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Okay, guys. Now I'm talking to let me start. I think with Terence. The reason I start with you, Terence, is because I don't know if you heard that story, but there was a story, and I think there was footage to it of this young boy. I'm thinking it's in Kabwe or somewhere, but I don't know that it was in Lusaka, or maybe it was in Lusaka actually, where these guys just broad daylight. They got a hold of him, bundled him in a car or something, but I think he screamed, and the community was, the people around were alert, or they stopped the car or something like that, but the boy was rescued in the end. And the boy was an albino. And I'm thinking, though, it must be, one moment was seemingly making good strides. You see all these, albinism day and guys coming up and talking about all these things, John Chitty and them making headway in their campaign, so to say, about albinism. And then that kind of story happens, and then it tells you that, a chain is as strong as its weakest link. We might think we're very strong, and yet there's somebody who completely doesn't even know what's going on and believes so much that you are a special person in that sense, and you can be used to make someone rich. So I'm wondering what goes through your mind when you after everything you're hearing that is good, then that story comes along on the news.
Okay, thank you very much, Innocent. I'm sure we all know that we live in a country where people have got less knowledge on us persons living with albinism, and hence we find people having a lot of myths. I'm sure that boy was gotten by those people and put in a vehicle. They had something about him. They wanted to do what? To kill him and get the what? The body parts. I'm sure you're getting me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We all know that people believe that when they kill me as a person living with albinism and they get my body parts, the private parts more especially, they'll become rich. But that's totally wrong. And that's the misconception that people have towards us persons with albinism. And it's so much hate to me when I see such things happening. That's why now I've also taken up a step in educating people to say, we are just human, just like each and every person is created in God's image. Whatever people can do, we can also do it. This issue of whereby I am kidnapped, killed, the body parts taken, and then they make some medicines. I don't know what type of medicine they make. And then they say they'll become rich. That's totally wrong. You will just kill me. And when God comes, he will also take care of you by punishing you.
True. True. Very, very true indeed. Okay, you know, I like the way you put it across. Now let me talk to Bernadette Moraes. You know what? I used to be at school in the Western Province at St. John's, and I know that at Holy Cross, which is the ladies' school, girls' school then, there was a headmaster who was very strict, though he was of, I think, Asian origin. Yes. And they used to call him, I think, Mr. Moraes, and they were very scared of him. Yes. So when I hear, and I've not heard that name anywhere else, so when I hear Moraes, I'm kind of wondering though.
That's my father.
That's your dad. He was very strict. Was he strict with you growing up though? Very?
Very.
Oh, how is he doing though?
He's doing fine. He was actually here. He's just left today.
Is it now? Oh, he retired though, I'm thinking, yeah?
Yes, he's
Okay.
retired.
And wasn't the mother your mother working at the same school?
Yes, they were head and deputy.
Oh, they were head and deputy. Oh, wow. Okay, so you have got sickle cell.
Yes.
Okay. How did you discover that? It must have been a bit different from the rest of the kids. Did you notice that before you knew your condition, that maybe your friends are, I don't know, is it more active than you are or something? What did you notice first?
Yes, growing up, I was always getting tired easily, and my parents would always tell me to be careful with whatever I'm doing. Like if I'm playing, at a certain point, they'll tell me to come back and sit down or maybe drink some water. Even though I don't feel thirsty, they'll force me to drink water. There were times when they would just tell me to stay indoors. My friends would be running around in the rain. They won't allow me to go out. They were very protective. So from a very early age, I knew there was something different about me. And my mother didn't say, you are sick. She would say, you are special. So
Wow, that was nice.
So I would think, okay, maybe it's the way I look, but I didn't realize exactly what was wrong with me until I think maybe I was 6 or 7. Then she started explaining things to me.
Okay, so just for the record though, the sickle cell condition is what?
It's a genetic disease.
Oh, it's genetic?
Yes.
Okay.
So for me, my mother has sickle cell anemia. She's a carrier. My father has thalassemia, which is another form of anemia.
Oh.
So both those I have. So I have sickle cell, and I have sickle cell thalassemia.
Okay. Okay. All right. So sickle cell though is your white cells.
It's the red blood cells that are sickle shaped. Normal blood cells are round. Our blood cells, or my blood cells, are in a form of a C. And because of that shape, they block the veins. You know, the red blood cells carry the blood. Carry oxygen to all parts of the body. But our cells, because of their shape, they block the veins, and because of that blockage in the veins, it causes pain. So, like for me, I'm in pain nearly every day.
Oh.
A person with sickle cell anemia will have pain every day. You are lucky if you have a day when maybe in the morning you are fine, and then later in the evening you will develop pain. I've lived my life on painkillers most of the time. You reach a point where you have to take very strong painkillers just to stop that pain, just to live a normal or a semblance of normal life.
But you seem to have managed though, because it's easy to think that would hold you back. You know, you want to study, you are thinking, but I'm in pain. Probably you feel sorry for yourself, such that when you don't do well in school, you don't progress in life, and you feel that society will probably understand, because what, she's in pain all the time. How does she can she get serious or busy studying when she's in pain? Because people a headache and you are not studying because you got a headache. So I'm thinking, you're in pain all the time and yet you're studying, you're living your life. It can't be easy though.
No, it's not easy. For me, my personal experience has not been easy. You see, because of sickle cell anemia, the blockages of the veins and all that, it affects different organs in our body. So some people have leg sores. I'm sure you've seen people with sores on their legs that don't heal. That's because of sickle cell anemia. There are others who have kidney problems, gallstones. The spleen will be affected. Your heart is affected. You get acute chest syndrome where you can't even breathe properly. For me, it affected more the bones. So I have what they call a vascular necrosis, which is the bones get eaten up because they are dry. The blood isn't reaching the bone. It dries up. So it affected more my hips, such that I couldn't move, I couldn't walk the way everybody else walks straight. I had pain, constant pain in my hip joints. What was happening was the joints were being eaten away because the blood wasn't reaching that place, and because of that, that area dried. The hip joint dried up and started disintegrating.
Wow.
That caused more pain for me.
Imagine, yeah.
On top of the normal pain that I have. Such that it reached a point where it became so much. When I came to Lusaka for school, my brother took me to UTH and they did some x-rays. And that's when I was told that I had a vascular necrosis. And if I didn't have something done to these hip joints, I would be confined to a wheelchair. Now, by then I had trained as a teacher. And you know, being a teacher, you're supposed to stand in class, and then you're told that you might end up in a wheelchair. That was, it wasn't so good.
No.
But luckily, because of my dad, I had the operation done in India, so I have artificial hips.
Oh. Yeah, the operation in India. Okay.
But it's done here too.
It's done here now. Okay.
Bait cure,
Okay.
they do it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're kind of, so now the pain, is it subdued a bit, do you think, or how's the situation?
Yes, in the hip joints, I'm okay. But the rest of the body will have aches and pains.
Yeah. Okay. But interesting, though. You seem to be a happy person. You know what? Wow. Okay. Interesting. Now, I'm going to talk to Auntie Kay. Auntie Kay, you're the mother to Richard.
Yes.
And Richard has a condition called
Cerebral palsy.
cerebral palsy. Again, maybe explain that.
See if I need some help. But basically, it's a condition that affects various neurological parts of the body of a person. So in his case, he's got a problem with speech. He's got a speech impediment, and also his walk is a bit funny. You'd think he's been drinking or something. So his movements are not very stable. Of course, he cooks, he washes his own clothes, he's able to take care of himself. But if you spend time with him, you will notice that there's something happening. You won't know exactly what it is, you know. And when he was born, at a certain stage, you expect the baby to be able to sit up, because if the neck is wobbling, the child won't be able to sit properly. So that was the first thing that, you know, we noticed, him and me and his father. Fortunately, that time I was still working in Cabo for the railways, and there was a group of Chinese doctors, genuine Chinese doctors, and they put catgut in his back to build the muscles on the side of his spine so that he's able to be stable, you know. So that's how we first noticed. People would say, well, the child maybe had been very ill and you didn't notice and stuff, but no, that's how he was born. So he does remind me of the young lady here. because he's a very cheerful and happy person. He's more technologically advanced than I am. He's able to use his computer, his iPad, his phone. Of course, because of the speech, if he needs to communicate with me or his sisters, he'll send a WhatsApp message. So he won't be able to speak with you on the phone, like verbally, but he will be able to communicate. He'll say, what time are you coming back? You know, there isn't any food, because he knows he's able to cook for himself, he's able to take care of himself. And of course, he makes friends easily, as Sepo has already alluded to, because he's very cheerful and he likes people. But of course, a crowd like this would intimidate him, because he's now aware, he's of an age where he's aware that people look at him differently. And I remember one particular incident. I told Sepo, I said, I don't hide my son. I'm very proud of my very good-looking son. He's in the back there somewhere.
I met him actually.
Oh, yeah, you did meet
looking,
him. Yes, he's very, he's very good-looking. But because of his awareness, it makes him it makes it a bit difficult for him to interact with other people, because he notices, he's aware that people are looking at him differently.
Yeah.
And
there's
a
stare instead of
yes,
just looking,
exactly, instead of just looking or just saying hi. And we went to a wedding, a family wedding, and there was this chick. He's of an age. I mean, he's Kamabali now, you know. He is Kamabali. So he saw this girl, and he really liked her, and the girl seemed to have liked him as well. But when he was walking towards, I don't know whether first she thought he was drunk, so she was a bit uncomfortable. But when he tried to say hi, when he said hi, she withdrew, and he noticed. And he said, Mom, you know, this means sad. Mom, I'm sad. I really like the chick, you know, and she doesn't seem to like me. And I told her, I said, it's okay, don't worry, you meet somebody else. So as a parent with a child with that condition, there are various challenges. Like I said, he's growing. And the last few years, he's been saying he wants to get married. And I'm like saying, okay, how do we do this?
Yeah.
You know, he said, I want to have children. But the question he's been asking is, will my children be like me? I said, no, they won't. You know, they'll be healthy, they'll be strong, they'll be, you know.
It's not hereditary.
It's not hereditary, exactly. No, it's not. I certainly hope it's not. But I've done a bit of research. It isn't hereditary. But, you know, those are some of the challenges. So you have to be both.
Yes,
that's when it happens.
Yes.
Ordinarily, it doesn't happen.
For instance, if I, as sickle cell sufferer, married somebody who doesn't have it, we might have children who be carriers only.
Yeah, but
not
sickle cell
sufferer like me.
Okay. All right. I just thought I should clear that bit out. Okay. All right. So, well, firstly, let me say one thing to you, Auntie Kay. I think there's a friend of mine who goes to a particular church, and they've been going to that church for a very long time, and years. Like for a long time, I mean a lot of years, and then there's a family they knew, the 2 children, you know, very dedicated members of the family. One day, the family said at the end of the service that they wanted to say something to the church, and they went in front and stood there and said, "We actually have another child," and everybody thought, "But when was she expecting? We didn't see that, you know." And then they explained as a family that we've always had this child. In fact, he's older than these 2 that we have. But he has a spine problem. He's always lying down. So they would actually leave him home when they go to church. And you know, and at times it was easy to want to blame them. But I think you would know best. Society can make you do such things.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. So I'm very proud of you, because you, I think, are a very good example of how it shouldn't be about society. It should be about your child.
My child, exactly.
You are not always going to be there. How are they going to be when you're not there? Because you're not there to protect them. You're not there to hide them. You're not there to whatever and find whatever they need. The only way that can happen is if they become themselves, and it can only happen with the mother making the first step. The society, of course, has to, but you can't rely on society. It has to be you, isn't it?
Yes. No, that's very true, because one thing that I've done is that I've tried to ensure that my son is independent as he's able to with that condition. So, of course, the only thing I wouldn't teach him is how to drive, because it's a neurological condition. But anything else, and if there's only me and him at home, like for instance on a Sunday, when the girls are there, when his sisters are there, he won't wash the dishes. He says, I'm a man, you know, I'm not going to wash dishes. But if it's only me and him, he'll cook the relish, umunani. He refuses to cook with Shima because he says the porridge. He says, I'm very good looking. Porridge.
It's going to mess up. He's a funny guy. I like him.
He's a very interesting guy, yes. So he will cook the munani and the relish, and he will tell you to come and finish off with Nshima. And then after that, he will wash plates because it's only me and him. But if there are any females around, like I said, he's become aware. Yeah. He's aware. Yeah. So he doesn't want, you know, the ladies seeing him washing plates. But one thing, yes, that makes me sad up to now, and we were discussing this with Sepo, is that, yes, people hide their children. They feel that they are to blame for the child's condition. So they will hide their children. And also, I've been lucky, I must say, because my son is able to walk, he's able to, you know, but for some, you know, the child is not able to move except in a wheelchair. They're not able to interact with other children. So I consider myself very lucky. Yeah. First, because I love my son, of course. And he's a very special person, especially with me. I love his siblings, but I guess there's a little bit that goes,
and I think we can appreciate that,
an extra bit that goes. So what I would like to encourage, especially the younger ones, of course, as you grow older, certain things don't matter. You reach an age where you say, and then, you know, people are talking about me, and then it doesn't matter. When you are young, you are more conscious. You are like, oh, somebody says that, your hair, you are like, oh, tomorrow to the salon, you know, that kind of thing. But at my age, it doesn't matter. It's me and my son. Society, yes, will get involved because they are there and we cannot ignore them. But I like to encourage the younger mothers because they're struggling, you know, with these kids. It's not easy. How do you go anywhere with a child? Because you have to carry the child. And then the child reaches a certain size where you can no longer carry them. And in most cases, it's the women who struggle with these kids. The fathers have gone off to the club or wherever it is they go these days, I don't know. So you are left with a child, you know. So, and also motherhood is special because usually it's your child, mwana ove. You know, even when we're growing up, our parents would say, Chikopo because of you, meaning your mother.
Yeah, when it's doing well, then that's my son.
That's my son, you know.
True.
So we need to understand as a society that we need to support both parents, but we need to support the woman more because she's the one who's usually with the child. At the time my son was still going to school, she's the one who would bring the child to the bus, to get on a bus. He was at UTH special school for some time. So she's the one struggling, you know, with society. And you find people get, because of the stress they're facing because of the child, they take it out either on the child or on the partner, or, you know, they just become an irritable person and you're wondering what's wrong with that person. They're always like, all the time. It's the stress. And usually they don't know who to talk to. Where should they go? Is there a support
and especially that if they're hiding it.
Exactly, if they're hiding it. If it's in the open, it's not too much of
easier.
It's a bit easier, yes.
Wow. Okay, I know we can go on talking a whole lot about such issues. Mine is just that I'm hoping that those people watching at home have gotten one or two things and, you know, have realized that we need to work differently with the people that are special, the special in that sense. Okay, speaking of special, and kind of reminds me of Jose Mourinho. Do you follow football? That guy is not special at all. He's making United lose. Goodness. Okay, and also having said that, I will say of him that he's not special. Albinism is nothing special, man. It's just a color. Do not think in any way that you can get rich because of him.
It's just a melanin which is lacking.
Yes.
Melanin is a pigment that gives color to the skin, the eyes, and the hair.
Period. In fact, Michael Jackson also claimed not to have it, so that's how come he was bleaching himself. He just wanted to be like you, but yeah. Anyways, thank you very much, guys, for coming through. This has definitely been an eye-opener, not only for the viewers, I think for me too. You know, and I'm excited that you agreed to come. And you say hi to Mr. Moraes.
I will.
And Mrs. Moraes. All right, we do this. We're going to break. When we get back, we shall be talking Lusaka Music Festival after the break.
Watch The Zambian Genius, showcasing the very best of Zambian thinkers every Sunday at 21 hours on ZNBC TV1.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Welcome back. And now we're talking Lusaka Music Festival. And first time it happened last year, I felt long overdue. Lusaka needs a huge festival. You know what? This is where everybody comes to. There's a song where some guys from the Copper Belt are lamenting at the fact that anybody who makes it out on the Copper Belt then treks to Lusaka, and this is where they move to and stay. And you know, and that's the truth, because you know, Mark II, for instance, Lusaka, nasty Lusaka. I think just about every big name you're going to mention is from out of Lusaka. So you know, and because of that, then Lusaka has to stand up and be counted by coming up with a music festival. I think it's a great initiative. So let's talk to a couple of people that are hugely involved in this particular event. Mr. Heyman, that's what you're called?
Yes, thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Germany.
Germany?
Yes, Germany, but I'm longer here than you.
Ah, so you're Zambian now. Okay, but still, you still have, when the World Cup is on, you support the Germans, isn't it?
Yes, I do.
You were very disappointed in the last World Cup, yeah?
Very much.
For whatever reason, but normally the German machine works very well. So we wish them all the best going forward. But even before we get to the rest of the guys that we have on the show, of course, the legendary Uncle Rex, you know, in the middle right there doing his thing. And some techno kind of youngster here who will be dealing with the social media aspect of it. Let's talk about Lusaka Music Festival. You know, maybe, why we have it.
We have a new mayor. He wants to do something special.
Okay.
And he thought doing something for the musicians.
Yeah.
And also bring back all the type of Zambian music. Because lately we are just going latest, and we're forgetting all the old ones. Now, so we decided to hold a music festival, which should be annual, so that it's getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yes.
And that people, instead of going to Cape Town for the jazz festival, they come to Lusaka for the Lusaka Music Festival.
Definitely.
And it will be for all people.
Okay. So that tells me then that all kinds of music, old music.
We start with some rock, with reggae, with kalindula, with raga, with fusion, with every type of music was made in Zambia.
Yeah.
And it's still made,
and
we kind of forgot it, because just lately, Jagari Janda went to Europe and toured 5 countries, very successful.
Wow.
And we don't know here.
Yeah.
We know nothing about
those
it.
Those are pioneers.
So we want to bring that back, so that...
I think it's a great one. You know, excited that the mayor also is excited about that. We were playing football the other time, futsal, you know, with the mayor. He came through and, you know, had a bit of a game, scored. I say that lightly because it was a deliberate pass. The guy who passed to the mayor could have scored. But we thought, hey, maybe the mayor should also score. So like a little pass. But anyway, he's actually a good player. I was surprised. But I'll tell you one thing. There's one politician who can play the game, I think, more than any other politician. Honorable Vincent Mwale is a great football player.
Is it?
He calls himself the Ronaldo of Zambia, and I think he backs it up, because every game he scores not less than 3 goals. I was so shocked that he can play that way. I've heard of him play, but he's a very good player. That I'll give to him. The mayor, let's just say he scored. Okay. Uncle Rex.
Yes.
Firstly, this sounds like a very important project. And I think for a person like you who's in tune with what has happened then and what is happening now, would be happy, because you are one of those people that brings the music together. I've seen you in videos of these youngsters, and you fit in very well when you bring in that guitar of yours. So this kind of fusion for you, I think, is special, isn't it?
Yeah, very special. You know, and I'd like to mention here that this concert is going to be a great one. Yeah, because you see, we want to, the whole concept is to bring back, is actually to do original songs.
Oh.
Yeah, no copyrights, everybody that's going to perform at that concert will do their own composition, original songs, and we want to promote that.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's
we
really,
want
really
to
good.
promote that, and then we have
No miming.
no miming, of course.
That was live performances.
Yeah, just live
Only.
performances.
Only?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
And then on the lineup we've got we've got the Lux. We've got.
First of all, do we have Jagger Chanda on it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yes,
that's
of
the
course.
legendary. We have the legendary Jagger Chanda.
Okay.
Most of the young people don't know.
They probably
Jagger
don't know
Chanda.
him, yeah.
So
And the same line, Victor
Victor
Kaoma.
Kasoma, Victor
Oh,
Kasoma.
yes,
You know.
yes, I've heard about him.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
not seen him in action, so I really want
Yeah,
to see him.
very great guitarist.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have Maureen Lilanda, we have Angela Nyirenda, we have Chester, we have JK, we have Maki 2.
It's
Yeah,
a,
you
it's
see,
a mix.
Jones also is coming to play his
Oh,
guitar. So
yeah.
Jones is coming to play. I'll be playing that guitar myself, and
Cactus.
Cactus.
All the live performers, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And reggae also, Peter Bob.
Oh, Peter Bob. You know Peter
I know
Bob.
Peter
Yeah,
Bob.
Peter Bob is going to do some reggae. That.
Okay.
Yeah.
A new girl, Leah Taps.
Leah
on the
Taps.
reggae, on the reggae
Okay.
side.
Okay. All right.
So it's going to be a great concert. you know. Yeah.
And what time? What time is it starting? What time?
We start. We open the gates at 10 hours. Too late.
On 27th
On 27th
of October. Yeah.
of October.
Okay.
That is next month.
And at
this is-
Woodland Stadium.
No, this is this month. We're in October now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Never mind that it's not hot for some reason.
Oh,
but
this,
we're in
this
October
month.
now.
This month. Yes.
Yeah.
This
At
month.
Woodland Stadium.
Woodland Stadium.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it starts 10 hours till late.
Too late. 10 hours too late. 27th of this month.
So come with the family, chill out. There'll be brides and everything. Whatever you want to drink will be there. So yeah, great night, great day that. But in case we want to get more information of what's happening, Amakawe, tell us about where can we get that information from?
We're almost on all the media, social media platforms at the moment. So we have our Instagram account, we have Twitter, we have Facebook, and the following is good so far because we opened the page I think a week ago.
Okay.
And for a week I think we're doing good. So on Facebook we are Lusaka Music Festival, Instagram is the same, Lusaka Music Festival, and Twitter, Lusaka Music Festival.
Yeah, keeping it simple like that. Yeah.
So if people want to get more information, unfortunately, we're not open for artists that want to perform at this stage because
It's
that
already
has
filled.
already been taken care
And
of.
rehearsals are ongoing. already.
Rehearsals are on, so it's just for people that want to come through. If you want to buy tickets, tickets are available already. They are in Pick and Pay stores through web ticket.
Web tickets.
And if you want to win some tickets, follow our social media platforms. And
the opportunities to win.
yes, definitely, definitely.
Okay. All right. So it seems like we are already in check. What we'll do though, because the event is on the 27th, is that maybe in the next week or two we'll have you, guys back so we can just bring us up to speed with what else is happening. Because I know very well that with the mayor involved, the mayor will be there as well, isn't it?
Yes.
What I like about
definitely,
being a
definitely.
mayor is those chains that that
The
you tend to
bling.
wear, the bling. All right, we'll do this. We're going to break. When we get back, we will be talking to a couple of people, and they'll be talking about the new pageant that's coming up called Noble Eagle Pageant. Like a noble eagle in its flight. I think they get it from the national anthem. We're going to break.
LSK Music.
Unali munzi woko mauno pamene ambuya akali moyo enzo tishimikila vishilili ise benze chimbwi na kalulu enze ochenjela mutolepo chimozi azukulu wangu ichi ni chalo mweo mukula ambuya enzolavila nishitutandala tuyota mulilo ambuya enzolavila nishitutandala tuyota mulilo chalo tuwa makulya na wantu chalo
makuseka na wantu zivakaselowera kaselongoya uzukulu wangu zivakaselowera kaselongoya uzukulu wangu
ati isini nansi nipapwina na bling them all fancy Mambuya badulikila kumanza na kangoli ngalani ya babana banga nguzeni kastori muliro kushoke ni benderani na kutali zinguni nizoipa zikushoke mbali bali kuli bantu wolemela mamotoka black tint ukafuna kuwaposha bakulizila kapipi osakalipa nao inakwa nanite vaibala kuti mwenzote ya pate iwe tochita nikungala bwino na bantu osati munachuma mambo kula mutu osangala bize pesi muli bize vala vopemba please muvatandiza tangselesketa tamtani mavesi yamyo boy fani pite na moto the vesi wewe
ambuya ezolavila nishitutandala tuyota mulilo ambuya ezolavila nishitutandala tuyota mulilo chalo tuwa makulya na wantu chalo tuwa makuseka na wantu zivakaselowera kaselongoya uzukulu wangu zivakaselowera kaselongoya uzukulu wangu akungala bwino pachalo na wantu akungala bwino pachalo na wantu osangala monga akalulu ochenjera chalo chuama na wantu chalo chuama kulya na wantu nyimba side osangala na chikondi changu kuna chikwalala inoniziko azikulu wangu mongala bwino na wantu kuseka na wantu muzidya na wantu osazikukonda yayi ambuya ezolavila nishitutandala tuyota mulilo ambuya ezolavila nishitutandala tuyota mulilo chalo tuwa makulya na wantu chalo tuwa makuseka na wantu zivakaselowera kaselongoya uzukulu wangu zivakaselowera kaselongoya uzukulu wangu nyimba side wasachu aka village boy Fanny P. Did you know that? I like that. Well, it yeah. Yeah, nkani zamuchesenga izi bali silinga yale maningalande anda kuona achigomingo anda kuona wechi ndani pangono chungo topo asiyo yeah LSK upon this one it's another one hey it's a comedy production
LSK music bit.
Alrighty then. Okay, so good music there from Fan P and Zachu. Okay, names though. Fan P and Zachu. Chalo Navantu. That's the title of that one there. But it talks about the story of the hair. Kalulu back in the days, Zona for the guy. Anyway, now I'm talking to a representative from Zamcom. Yes, Margaret. How are you doing, Margaret?
I'm good. How are you, Innocent?
I'm good. Margaret, are you a model?
No,
You
but
got
I'll
this-
take that as a compliment.
You got this model thingy going on.
I'll work on it.
Stand up a bit, we see. Stand up, we see if you look like a model. But people think I'm lying. Model, like that. Okay, yeah, take a seat. All right, all right. Okay. Zamcom. You know, I think a lot of people want to come to Zamcom because those that want to do journalism, that want to be in the media profession. You know, and so you guys should consider yourself very privileged to be at it because I think it's one of those schools that a lot of people aim for. So let's talk about that though. What do you offer at Zamcom?
We offer different courses from production courses to journalism and public relations. And they're working on a degree program. So right now we just have diploma and certificate.
Okay.
Yes.
So this class that I have here today, what are you about?
Diploma 1.
Diploma 1.
June and July intake.
June, July intake.
Yeah.
Oh, so like June, July, the one that just came and gone. So
No,
you guys
like
are brand new, or is
we
it?
have January and June, July intake.
Yeah, but you guys are for all January, and it's a mix.
Yeah, it's just a mix.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So when is the other intake? Then is when again? January again.
January, yes.
For those that want to come through.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. That was quick, Margaret. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Now let me talk to my last guests. First of all, award-winning Happy K. If you're gonna have a name like Happy K, I'm thinking if we're nominated and in the five of us and there's a Happy K on it, I'm thinking I've lost already because I think your name, you're destined to be happy. And if you lose, you're not happy. So obviously, you're going to win and you're going to be happy.
Thank you.
Okay, so Best Artist, Muchinga Province.
Yeah.
You must be happy that they divided it from Eastern Province because then you didn't have to fight with the likes of, who won the Eastern one?
It's
Chimps Kelly. Yeah.
Chimps
So I think
Kelly.
you avoided Chimps Kelly because you're in the Muchinga. But having said that, man, I like your music. You know, I think you've got a different vibe about it.
Thank you.
But what do you call your kind of music?
It's secular R&B.
R&B.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you sing about? R&B issues, girls, life.
Girls, but
R&B always chopping the girls.
I also like to sing about life. Like the song that I performed, it's called Wamai. It's talk about life, support mothers. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now this award, you know, I think these were the second Kwacha awards. Did you participate last year?
Last year, no.
You didn't.
Yeah.
So what prompted you this year?
Last year they only picked the guys from Mpika. They didn't pick anyone from other district.
So which district are you from?
Nakonde.
Nakonde.
Yeah.
So this time around it was all the districts.
Yeah.
So you entered.
Yeah.
Did you know you're doing well from, because I know that the radio stations were the ones that vote. Did you have any idea?
The people, the time that they was voting, they was taking the snapshot, and then they tagged me.
So
from the look of the thing, I just
you're leading.
Yeah.
So you're happy.
I'm very happy.
All right. Why do you call yourself Happy K though?
Happy K, it's my real name. I'm Happy Kabanda. So yeah.
That's you know, Kabanda is like a ghost. So so there's that ghost that, you know, there used to be a comic book back in the days where there was this ghost that was to be happy. It was Casper, the friendly ghost. So I'm thinking, if you're a ghost, you would be Casper, friendly ghost. Happy Kabanda.
Yeah.
Okay, Happy. Congratulations on this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll be listening to your song as you close the show for us. Now, Noble Ego. Modeling agency. So what is the pageant? What is it called?
Okay, the pageant is called Miss Noble Eagle.
Oh, it's Noble Ego, yeah.
We are yet to go around the provinces.
Or the idea is going to be countrywide, like the Kwacha Awards. All provinces involved.
It's a countrywide project. We're going to start with Muchinga, and we are so excited.
Happy K
Not
will be
because
there.
he won, but it's just a coincidence.
You know?
It's a good coincidence
Yeah.
because in our planning, we are starting with Muchinga because most of the beauty pageants start from the Rhine of Rail.
Yes, so you
So
want
this
to
time,
move it.
we are going to start with Muchinga.
Okay.
And then we'll give the people of Muchinga the beauty pageant. For example, Noble Eagle, Miss Noble Eagle Muchinga.
So you're going to have an event there and you're going to pick.
Crown their queen.
Okay.
Who
I'm
should
sure that the
come.
award-winning Happy K is going to perform.
Of course,
def,
and we're
most
so
def.
excited he's here. So we'll go around the country and pick, like from each province we'll pick 2 coming to take part in Miss Noble Eagle Zambia in December 2019.
Or next year.
That will give us time to move around all the provinces. And then the girls will go and some seminars, entrepreneurship skills, and a loan will be given to them. Like for example, we get into Mchinga. We pick our 16 girls as finalists after the auditions, and then we crown the beauty, Miss Noble Igu Mchinga. Then she'll have a task to ensure that the loan that will be given to them is established, or they have to grow their money together. They have to work as a team. We are trying to, as women, we are trying to build each other. So we are bringing these young models on board so that they can also learn some entrepreneurship skills, and they should also learn how to manage money. That's why, for a start, just a minimum figure will be given to them. And for example, they have to come up with a project themselves. We're not going to force any projects on them. They have to tell us that this is what we want to do as a team.
And I think also because each province is unique, so they will know what can sell in that province.
In the province. Okay. So we're looking forward anyway to finding those models around the country. They're there, yes.
They're there.
Happy
K. Happy K sees them. They're there.
They're there, and we'll have to find them, definitely. So we're also curbing girl child early marriages, because I'm the founder and CEO for the organization, which is called Organization Against Girl Child Early Marriages in Africa. So we are working together with NEMA, the Noble Eagle Modeling Agency.
Oh, okay. Neymar.
No. Noble Eagle Modeling Agency. No. Far from it.
All right. I want to talk to you. Only I don't even know what to ask, because I think she said everything. But
yeah,
just
she did. Quite a lot, but I'm the coordinator on the project.
Okay, tell us about the whole event.
She's more involved with the organization, the Early Marriages, Against Early Marriages. So,
first of all, that's a very good bit that you've added to the event, because again, our first interview was talking about issues that happen in society, and again, some things we see a very old man married to a young girl, very young, and it's not our business. It is our business. We need to get involved and say something about it. So that bit I'm excited about. But yeah, you were going to say something, I hope?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was coming in on the pageant part. Yes, so we're partnering with her organization. And Noble Eagle Pageant, we're not really looking for the striking beauty, and, we're not judging anyone by their body, so we want an incorporation of everything that a human being can be. The issue she mentioned of training them into entrepreneurship, that loan will be passed on by the queen of every year to the next, so it will be a continuous thing. The idea is not to own them, but to teach and release. We want them to go there, and then they can become matrons of their own in every province. So the age range...
So it's a revolving fund in a sense.
Yes, that's what we're hoping for. We have a few sponsors on board. We would still like to have more because, like I said, would like this to be a very continuous thing. The age range is from 13. Yes, it's from 13, yes. We have 13 to 19, teenage section. So the teenagers will not get them away from school, but then we would like to have a young person speak to a young person, because early marriages involve children. So we want to have a girl who will stand up and say, you cannot do this. And we want them to start early, and there will be, say, an office in each province. We want them to be a part of that so that they don't have to be married, to encourage them. So they start at 13, and they can only enter the higher pageant from 20 to 29 if they have been members. So it's a way of making them be a part of it, because if they are going to be a model, they can't be breastfeeding and married somewhere. So
I like. I think
that's our way of prolonging it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I've interviewed a lot of people on beauty pageants. Sometimes you can see some people all about the money. You know what I'm saying? The moment they crown, the queen doesn't even get to see the money, whatever prizes came along. But you guys are making yourself out there. You have offices people can go to if at all anything is not right, and you've got a program which entails that there is a future to this beauty pageant, and to the young girls especially. I really want to recommend you on this one. I think it's a different kind of beauty pageant, you know, and I think it's very noble.
Yeah,
like the name suggests.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
So
just to add on, as we go in the provinces, we are expected to pick at least 5 girls from each province who we are going to take to school. So in our pilot program, we are supposed to have 55. Already we have 2. There's one here in Lusaka. She's at Simon Masaka Pwepwe in grade 8. There's another one we are supposed to take to school next year. She's supposed to start doing nursing. She's at Katuba Primary School in Central Province. So that leaves the number to 53. So we are going to find 53 more. We really want to start with the grade 8s and part ways when they're going for work. So we want to take them to school, and then they should be part of this program where they say someone took them to school, and they also have to contribute in a minimal way, not to say bring all your monies here, but to just have that human touch to the whole thing where you have to give back to society. Okay. Like women, like I said in the first place, we have to learn to build each other, because the people who are removing this money, innocent, they're just colleagues that I was with at the university. So there's a kid there's a girl who needs to go to school. Our school fees are 1,000. I need 100 kwacha from Dr. So-and-so. It will come to my inbox. Another person will send just like that, and we send that girl to school. So I would also want to thank my friends who've been supporting this organization for 10 years now. We've been in existence. So they're busy working in their offices, but when I text to say there's a girl who needs to go to school, they release their monies. Wow. And I'm so humbled with them because the response is so overwhelming. At times I'll say the bill is a 1,000, and then somebody will send a 1,000. Then I'm sending back a 900 to say, no, I didn't say you have to pay the all 1,000. There are 10 more who are willing to send 100. So you have your 100, have your 900, because I just need 100 kwacha from you. Then they go like, oh girl, you didn't say properly. I thought I'm supposed to contribute a 1,000.
You get good friends.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate their contribution towards this noble cause.
All right, okay. Great stuff, guys. You know, wish you all the best. We'll certainly be keen to follow, you know, what you're doing. I know you're working with a gentleman called Kenneth. Yeah. Kenneth is a bother in a good way.
Yeah.
Because believe me, as long as I tell him, Kenneth, I'm very happy with those guys. I'd like to interview them again. Rest assured, I will get a call. Innocent. Those guys we're very happy with. Can you interview them next week? And then I have no choice but to say yes.
He will make you work. He will make you work. And it's good to have him on board because he will push you until you deliver.
Project, he makes sure.
Yeah.
So he's that kind of guy.
We had a moment before we came on set. It's like, you guys, have you done this already? I'm like, Kenny, we have.
No, he's a good friend of mine, though.
Yeah.
All right, and he's a happy guy. And on that happy note, though, we're going to have Happy K close the show. What song are you giving us, Happy K?
Wamayo.
Wamayo, the award-winning, the song that made you win the award.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right, thanks very much to Zamcom for coming to this year's program and all the other guests that have been. See you in 7 days.
Business empire. Chula sana wana mayo kumkusha no kumfisha pano babwela babika pepano chula kumtuma chulile bakumkusha ile mayo chichi chingalenga utimile keleshelelo
abafyashi babo alikala bwino abafyashi bakwe balechula bambi bana mayo abashitisha tomato pa mariketi bambi bana babo balikala bwino bali wina alikwata manda engi nemyoto keshatula nomba banyina balilensala tafwayo kubapela nango kapito mutima washaniwe utu wakwata amapalo yafuma kubafyashi besu atwabalegeresha nishitwaitiesha mamayo banachula sana bana mayo kumpusha no kumfisha pano babwela babika kwepalo ine mayo tetimeke muchula we ine mayo bantu bombela imwe ine tetimekesha mamayo banachula sana bana mayo kumpusha no kumfisha pano babwela babika kwepalo gale nambile ukufuila mafunde yenu mayo makusishaini muchite mwiko mwera mwabika pone palo motile sungo mukoshiwe mwana ubulongo tabwashupa nefuna lefo ya ine fyonse mubuchushi wenu warempela nefuna lefo ya ine fyonse mubuchushi wenu warempela chakabale mila waine nono nango ninga ya patali ine nono chakabale mila waine nono nango ninga ya patali ine nono your love is natural it's natural your love is natural nobody taught you how to love me love me nobody taught you how to love me nigga mamayo barachula sana bana mayo kwamusha no kufisha pano babwela babika kwepalo ine mayo tetineke muchula we ine mayo bantumela imwe ine nigga mamayo barachula sana bana mayo kwamusha no kufisha pano babwela babika kwepalo
Mr. Addison Mwanza, managers.